All right, so we're talking about graphing parabolas in general form or standard form. So what makes it in general form? It's got to be x squared plus some x plus some number. Now there can be a number in front of the x squared. So if we have some ax squared plus bx plus c, that's general form. It's a little bit different than factored form, okay? We did this on Desmos, and we got our graph to look like this. And of course, the problem with Desmos, there it is. Problem with Desmos is that we can't use that on our test. We can tap and get the answer, tap, tap, tap. We can get all the answers from Desmos. But, and there it is, you know, all of the things, I've got my vertex at -1, -9. My y-intercept is 0, -8, which is that number. And x-intercepts, we tapped, we got those two. Now, what if we can't use Desmos? Bummer, no Desmos. What do? Well, first of all, we can get the line of symmetry, which is this line right here, by using a formula called negative b over 2a, where a is this first number and b is the second number, okay? In this example, a is 1 and b is 2, okay? So then once we get the line of symmetry, you can plug that back in to get the y value, and we wind up getting the vertex, okay? So we had an example, and we took a look at doing this one. We've got y equals 1x squared minus 4x minus 5. So the first thing I did is let's use our line of symmetry. Negative b over 2a, whereas our a is our 1 and our b is our -4. So to do negative b over 2a, I did negative 4 over 2 times 1, 4 over 2, which is 2. So my line of symmetry is at 2. The vertex lies along this line somewhere. So I took my 2 and I plugged it into the equation. Okay, plugged in for x and x. So I plugged in x squared, or 2 squared minus 4 times 2 minus 5. And I wound up getting -9. So my vertex has to be 2, -9. Okay. Now the y-intercept is really easy because the y-intercept is just that number, right? So y-intercept is 0, -5. I know that because of the symmetry, I have another point here, and then I graphed it in. Now, we can find the x-intercepts by factoring. Now, I haven't talked about factoring yet, but we can factor it into 0 equals an x minus 5, x plus 1, or x equals 5 and x equals -1. So, but we haven't learned that yet, so we're just going to go to guessing. So I guessed it, 5 and -1. Okay. Now on the back side, I did not do this one in class, but I could do it real quickly. The vertex, again, negative b over 2a. So I'm going to do my -4, because a, b, c over 2 times a, which is my -1/2, which is a positive 4 over a -1, which is a -4. So I have a line of symmetry at -4. I know that the vertex lies along this line, so I have to plug in my -1. So I'll go y equals, plug it in for x, -1/2, -1 squared, plug it in for x, minus 4 times -1 plus 3. And again, I can use my calculator, or I can just do it in my head, but it's so much easier with the calculator. I'll show you how to do it on the calculator. -0.5 parentheses, -1 squared, subtract 4 times -1 plus 3, and I get about 6.5, okay? So my vertex is at -1, 6.5. So oh, wow, I made a mistake. I did. We're supposed to be plugging in -4. Oh man, I get in a hurry and make mistakes, so let's fix all this, huh? Fix all that. I don't know what was going on. Let's do this again. Using my calculator. Claire, we're plugging in -4. All right, -0.5 times -4 squared, subtract 4 times my -4 plus 3. Don't get in too much of a hurry. See what happens when I'm in a hurry. How about 11? So it's got to be way up at 11. I might need to go by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right about there. My y-intercept I know is at 3, so my y-intercept is at 0, 3. And I know I have another point here, so I can graph it in. The x-intercepts, I'm not sure what they are yet, but we're going to learn that later, so we can just guess. And finally, we talked about the rocket. If I throw a rocket up in the air, initial velocity of 4 feet, starting height of 4, we have an equation. H of t, negative 16t squared, that's gravity, plus initial velocity, in this case is 48, how hard do I throw the ball, plus h0, which is my starting height, which is 4. Okay, so here's my equation. Y equals a negative 16t squared plus a 48t plus 4. Okay, I know it goes up and then comes back down over time. The equation, I'm going to use, again, my negative b over 2a because I want the vertex. So I did the negative b, which is negative 48 over 2 times a, which is negative 16. There's my negative b over 2 times a, negative 16. I simplified it and I got 1.5. 1.5 seconds to get to the top. Then it comes back down. What is the height? We got to plug it in. So I'm going to plug it in for t into both places. And I went negative 16 times 1.5 squared plus 48 times 1.5, and I ended up plus 4, and I got 40 feet. Okay, that's all I have. If you have any questions, come see me, all right?